Hey, AJ here, and today we are going to make some tomato soup and grilled cheese. Oh, stay excited, because not only are we gonna do it, we're gonna make it dairy-free, we're gonna make it gluten-free, but don't click away. It's gonna be good, you're gonna love it. There's just something cozy about grilled cheese and tomato soup on a gloomy day where you're reading a book and just hanging out. Not only is this soup creamy, delicious, a little bit spicy, loaded with flavor. It's naturally dairy-free, it's naturally vegan. It's so good. And we're gonna make it with a grilled cheese that actually has a little bit of veggies in it. But don't let that scare you off. It's still really good. You're gonna love it. So let's make some grilled cheese and tomato soup. All right, so step one, as you can kind of see behind me there, is we're gonna take some red bell pepper, 2 whole ones, and we're gonna actually roast them. And you can roast them one of 2 ways. You can roast them just over an open flame, kind of keep turning it, watching it. It's gonna char, and that's totally fine. You want it to get tender. Or if you want kind of an easier way, you can throw it in the oven, either throw it to like 400, 450, or you could use the broiler as well. Broiler and or the open flame is probably faster. If you're gonna throw it in the oven, it'll probably take like 10 to 15 minutes, so just pay attention to it. And I would put it on aluminum foil or metal. That way it conducts more heat. And just keep an eye on it, turn it, make sure it gets nice and roasty. The entire outside, it's almost gonna look burnt, but you're gonna peel that and toss it. So don't let that dissuade you. Don't think you did anything wrong. It's supposed to look a little bit charred and burned. So we're gonna do 2 whole red peppers to start. So I'm gonna rotate that. I'm gonna get the second one on the flame, and I'll see you in a sec. All right, so while those red peppers are getting nice and roasty, we are going to start making the soup. So we're gonna need a pot. Something, pot-shaped. Holds soup, and we're gonna put our burner on like medium low. It doesn't need to be super hot, but we are just kind of blending the flavors mostly. So the first thing you're gonna need is some form of tomatoes. Diced tomatoes is ideal, but whole tomatoes would work. So would crushed. I like the diced one just because I feel like it retains a good amount of its flavor without having giant chunks of tomato. And we're gonna blend all of this. So this is gonna be a creamy tomato soup. Don't worry, it's not gonna be a chunky tomato soup, but we're just gonna start with the entire 28 ounces of canned diced tomatoes. So let's get that in here. All right, next we're going to put a 14-ounce can of full-fat coconut milk. And when you're doing this, you want to save just a little bit for the end if you want it to garnish and like look cute. So really, you could throw the whole thing if you're just making this for yourself. But if you need a really nice thumbnail, if you want it to be cute, if you need it to look good on your blog, save a little bit and then put it on the top, and that makes a nice little creaminess. And the full fat is ideal, but you can do this with the light coconut milk as well. They both work. All right, next we're gonna do a cup of vegetable broth. This could be water if you want, but I kind of like the extra flavor of veggie broth gives pretty much any soup. So this could be, like I said, this could be water if you wanted. This technically could be coconut milk if you wanted like it very fatty and filling. Fatty in a good way. Fat's okay, right? So yeah, but I'm gonna do veggie broth for today. So you need a cup of more liquid is the real answer. If you wanna do it my way, veggie broth. All right, next you're gonna throw in about a tablespoon of dried dill. Now I know that seems like a lot, because it is a lot, because we want this soup to taste like something. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna throw about a tablespoon, and we're gonna keep a little bit for garnish as well. We're gonna do a tablespoon of garlic powder, and I would advise, if this is your first time making it, measuring this. We're gonna do some tore up basil in here, fresh. Now be careful not to go over on this. Basil's very strong. And if I were you, I'd probably chop this up. I know this is all going into a blender afterwards, so I'm not super picky because I know it's all gonna get evenly distributed. I just want this thing cooking a little bit, The equivalent of like 2 teaspoons or so. Maybe I'll do a second basil leaf. Who doesn't love a lot of basil in their tomato soup? We're gonna throw a little bit of coconut sugar in here. This could be normal sugar too if you don't have coconut sugar. It's totally fine. Trying to make things just a titch healthier. We're gonna do some salt and just a little pinch of crushed red pepper. Also, you want to put a little bit on the at the end for a garnish. We're just going to let this get nice and warm, and then we're going to stir it a little bit. Let it cook basically while your red peppers are roasting. So that's going to take 5 to 15 minutes or so for your red peppers to roast. And then we're going to add those in as well, but you have to, take the skin off and make sure they're cooled first so that you don't burn your hand. So I'm going to let this kind of simmer for a while. I'm going to let my roasted red peppers go, and I will see you when it's time to put this all in the blender and make a nice creamy soup. All right, so we have our roasted red peppers. They look glorious. Look at them. Roasty, charred, a little deflated. So now the hard part is you gotta just wait a little bit for them to cool before you start peeling off this skin. So these skins, you don't wanna eat that. I think it's bad for you, but it definitely doesn't taste good, even if it is not bad for you. So we're going to kind of peel these, and you'll see if you cook them right, they kind of come off real easy. And we're gonna leave the mushy inside, and we're gonna transfer these insides. Again, don't take the stems, don't take the seeds, just take the actual pepper part. Just like, anytime you eat a bell pepper, we're gonna throw it in a blender. Let me grab mine. So we're gonna throw it in our blender, and then we're gonna add our soup into it and blend it all together till it's nice and smooth. We're gonna transfer it back into the pot, let it simmer just a little bit longer, and that's it. Your soup's done. That's what I'm saying. This is easy, delicious, cozy, and it's dairy-free. So I'm gonna start peeling these up, throw it in here, and I'll see you when I'm done peeling, because this is probably gonna be a little bit of a mess. Man, this stuff smells so good. You know what's a bad idea? Making food videos when you're actually hungry. So here are those roasted red peppers. They look and smell awesome. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the soup to this. We're gonna blend this thing on high until it's nice and smooth and pureed, and then we're gonna return it. So let me grab the soup real quick. And I'm gonna do this over the sink just in case I spill. That doesn't look beautiful. And you'll notice it looks a little orangey, but once you start blending it and get all those tomatoes crushed, it's gonna be even redder. I don't know about you, a lot of people don't care. I want my tomato soup to look, tomatoey, red, even if it's light because of the cream. All right, so we're gonna throw this on, put it on high, blend it for, 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how strong your blender is. Man, does that smell good? This is gonna be good, I'm excited. Yeah, that's good. So I'm actually gonna throw a little bit of tapioca starch in here. You don't have to do that, and but you can. I'm gonna do it because it helps thicken up soups, and I like a thicker soup. And also simmering it down will help make it thicker as well. So I'm gonna throw this back on the thing. I'm gonna throw maybe a teaspoon of tapioca starch in there just to help thicken it up a little bit more. And then we'll start making our grilled cheese, and then I can eat this already. All right, so we have our soup thickening up, added up a little bit of arrowroot starch, not tapioca starch, but they both would work. About 2 teaspoons to help thicken it up. You could also add tomato paste. You could also add nothing, and it would be totally fine. All right, next thing we're going to do is we are going to make our vegan grilled cheese. So the first thing we need to do is I'm gonna use gluten-free bread. I would totally advise you eat normal bread if, your body's good with it. Normal bread's delicious. So I'm gonna get these toasted on light just to kind of help defrost them. All right, while those are cooking, we're gonna make a real quick kind of faux spinach cream sauce, right? It's gonna taste, kind of like cream spinach, kind of like a fake spinach artichoke. So the first thing you need, some baby spinach. We're gonna grab 2 cups or so, maybe 3. And then you also are gonna want 1 to 2 cloves of garlic. By the way, if your spinach isn't already nice and small, definitely chop it, definitely do that. But this happens to be baby spinach, not adult spinach. And so babies, they don't need to be made even smaller, they're babies, right? We're gonna leave that. I'm gonna grab the flat side of a knife and break down this garlic. And we wanna mince this garlic. Like I said, about a clove should be fine for you. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to saute it with the spinach to help infuse some more flavor in your grilled cheese sandwich. So let me just mince up this garlic really quick. And if you have a garlic press, that would work too. I would say that would almost work better, but I just don't want to have to clean a garlic press. So I'm just mincing it. All right, next we're going to get a little saucepan, and we're going to throw just a little bit of oil or vegan butter, it's cool, into your pan. We're gonna throw the garlic in, let it get fragrant. Should only take like 30 seconds on medium. And then we're gonna throw all this spinach in, watch it wilt down. Once it's like starting to wilt, you can kill the heat. You don't want it completely wilted. I mean, maybe you do, but you kind of want it like partially cooked, partially raw. That's how I like it. I don't want to eat a mush of spinach. I want it to still have a little bit of crunch, but not be so raw and flavorless. So I'm gonna saute some garlic, I'm gonna throw some spinach, and then we're gonna add some vegan cream cheese to it to make our faux spinach cream cheese. So I'll see you when it's time to kind of mush all those things together. Becky, I don't want to toot my own horn, but look at this freaking spinach cream sauce. It looks amazing. So we have that done. We're getting our bread. Now we're just gonna put it all together and we're gonna be good. The last thing too your vegan grilled cheese needs is of course cheese. Perfect, that's what we needed. All right, so I'm using the Daiya cheddar cheese. The reason I'm using this is I want this recipe to kind of be like a quick, easy go-to. I've seen people make, you know, the cheese that goes into the vegan cheese, and honestly, it doesn't ever look that great to me. This has always come out better, and it's quick, it's easy, a lot more people have access to it, so if our goal is to get people to realize, oh, eating plant-based isn't gonna ruin my life, this is gonna be it. So I like the Daiya brand because it melts well, and the cheddar flavor, it really pairs well with the spinach thing. But you do you. So we're gonna put all of these things together. I know this looks kind of like chaos, which is how I like my kitchens. Chaotic and delicious. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna butter the outsides of this bread. And this is just gonna, you know, get it nice and greasy and delicious. Vegan earth balanced butter on here. It's gonna make this super delicious right on the outside. We're gonna put the Daiya on one side, and should I do one or two? Probably two, right? It's a grilled cheese. Let's put the spinach mix on the same side. I mean, this looks good as is, right? So we're gonna throw this on a pan. We're just gonna grill it on each side for maybe like 2 to 3 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. And then you have yourself a vegan grilled cheese. So I'm gonna throw these on the grill, and I will see you when it's time to have our grilled cheese and tomato soup. I'm gonna see if I can get my wife, if I can yank her away from podcasting to get her to taste some of this. So I'll see you when it's time for the taste test. All right, so we have it here. We have our creamy tomato soup, which I think looks pretty cool in this clear mug. And we have our cream spinach cheddar grilled cheese. And all of this, believe it or not, is actually pretty fast to make. It might seem like a lot of steps, but even with the filming and everything, this only took me like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. So I'm gonna have my beautiful, magical, amazing fairy wife come and try. No pressure. Yeah. And try this out.
Wow.
And see if, yeah, what do you think?
It sounds so fancy.
Look at how fancy that is.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Only the fanciest for you, Amy.
I'm gonna try the soup first.
Okay. You like it?
Uh-huh.
I like it too. Can you taste the red peppers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can? Okay.
100%.
I know you can always taste red peppers,
yeah.
Actually. You have like a super sense. And you have your grilled cheese.
You have to dip it.
You gotta dip it. That's what it's about. Is it good? You like it? Yes! Awesome! What does it taste? I haven't even tried it.
Yeah, but I really love the cream spinach in there.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not overpowering at all.
Mm-hmm. Does it taste garlicky?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
It's really good. I think it's like even if you are like a basic like me, and I like just, like, don't put any fancy cheese, like just cheddar.
It's just cheddar.
Don't do anything to the soup, just tomato, and I still like it.
Yeah.
So, it's like subtle, but it's nice.
It's basic, but it's got a couple of little things that let you know you're a special.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like 9.5. They go together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it, Eve.
Good job.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. We got some grilled cheese with spinach cream. We got a tomato soup. Hopefully you make this. If you do, tag me at HeyAJ If you like this video, mush like. And if you never want to miss another one of these, because you're like, wow, that looks so good, AJ, I'm so thankful to you for being on camera and making this food so that I can go make it and I can eat it. Subscribe and hit the bell, and that way you never miss my face. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Have a good one.